Alrighty, you ready? Okay. Alright, this is our sprint1 presentation. We are team, team supernova. Little team intro.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
I'm Joni.
I'm me.
I'm Jen.
Alright, so for the agenda today, we're going to cover a couple of topics. Maybe. Okay, so first we'll cover our design brief and UI project. Then we'll go over a client interview, visual competitive analysis, takeaway and goals, and design principles. And then we'll move on to our individual iterations of our projects that we've done this past week, and then hit on next steps and questions.
So, Twindo is a business concept from Antonio. It's a new convenience store aimed at suburban families. The concept is really simple. You order on the app and you pick up at the drive-thru. So the user persona that our team, the UX team, carefully researched is Rachel. She's 31 years old, lives in the suburbs with her husband and child in Illinois. And we got to interview Antonio, and these are the key quotes he gave us. First, that it's really all about saving time. And then he really wanted to stress that he wanted this app to be memorable and stand out from the other competition out there. Less is more, really less options, quicker interaction, and then finally, it's so easy, so good that customers want to come back.
All right, so in order to get a good start on this, we analyzed some of the competitors out there, many of which offered like mobile ordering for different food items, so like Starbucks, Ritual, which is kind of like group ordering for companies, and also a mobile convenience store and delivery app, GoPuff, and a couple others. We analyzed it in terms of bold versus subdued design, cluttered versus clean design, and we decided that we wanted Twindo to be both bold and clean in terms of design, as those were the most successful. And we also analyzed it based on casual versus formal design, and language, text-based versus image-based design, and we wanted Twindo to be image-based and kind of like more of a casual feel to it because we thought those were the most successful competitors. So yeah, overall, our takeaways were that successful apps had bright colors and were very product-focused, and we want to focus on like consistent layout, hierarchy, color, and brand throughout the app and keep it focused on the product.
Next, our group came up with 4 design principles total. And starting with the first one, less is more. It has been mentioned multiple times by our client Antonio during the client interview, and we strive for simple and minimalist visual design. Specifically, we will limit the use of color and font in our design. The second is quick navigation. We aim for easy user flow and to make the user make decision quick. And we will provide less options on each screen. And third, we will focus on the products. Through the competitive analysis, we found that most of our competitors use product-focused images, and we will continue doing so. Lastly, we will try to make Twindo stand out from our competitors. We aim for making it memorable, distinguishable, and engaging to the user. Then each designer will talk about their mood boards and style tiles.
All right, so getting started, I wanted to focus on kind of like one of the primary colors being something bold and vibrant, but then given the user, I wanted it to tone down a little bit and to give it more like a feminine feel to it, more like friendly and inviting as well. So I kind of picked green and worked with black and white as well. That's what the client said he did want kind of more of a black and white minimalist look, and based on our design principles that seemed to fit. So this is innovative convenience style tile. I wanted to focus on like a lot of textures that use different greens. Polka dot is kind of friendly and fun while still remaining kind of classic. And then again, it's a product focus. And the next one I wanted to make a little bit more maybe like gender neutral color-wise, a little bit more energetic, so I used yellow. And then kind of focusing on window, Twindo, and the window-based imagery in the mood board. I kind of made like kind of a vertical, rectangular style tile that focused kind of grayscale and black, but having yellow as the main color, like very bold color blocks. The final mood board, I focused on the theme of kind of like a more domestic, like homemaker type of theme and color, but vibrant and energetic, and kind of put that cityscape in there to give it kind of a more like urban, dressed up feel. So it's like a modern woman shopping. And the style tile, I carried that over with the umbrella images, the background of her profile, which can be editable, and then focusing again on the products and having the elegant designs for the different categories.
So this is my first mood board. For this one, I wanted to really focus on the standing out of our design principles. So I tried to pick different colors than I saw throughout the rest of the competitors. I wanted it to be warm and fun with a retro vibe. Oopsie. For the style tile, I continued that retro vibe on. I played with a little swoop up top to again make it stand out. I also wanted to make it very simple for the user to use, so I put it on a white background with really bold colors. Everything's rather simple to just make it product focused, and even though it is bright colors, to try not to actually distract from the products. So the second one I did, I wanted to make it more light and airy. Hence I have the feather and kind of the filmy fabric. The client did mention that blue was one color that he had been focusing on, so I wanted to include one of those with my style tiles, or my mood boards. For my style tile, I focused on keeping that whimsy, airy light, so I have mostly a white background, and then I moved dots from that particular image over, and they're throughout the app around the buttons, and I also kept that blue going just to make it fun and casual. I played with drop shadows a little bit, putting blue and pink in that just to make it a little bit exciting. For my last one, I did black and white with a pop of yellow, and I wanted to make this one really energetic, and I wanted to keep it friendly while still being classic. Another aspect I focused on was the sketching, and you can see that I pushed that through to my style tile. Maybe you can see it's a little, contrast isn't great here, but I have sketching on the breadcrumbs as well as the icons and on this background. And I kept the product photos bright and bold to be fun, as well as the splashes of yellow.
Next is a general view of 3 of my mood boards, 3 style tiles. In general, I choose to use very simple color palettes. In general, like 3 or 4 total on each mood board as a style tile. And I also choose to use simple modern design on each one. I also choose a bright or bold color into the design based on our design principles. And all the images I used is focused on the products. Starting with the first one, I decided to use like a lemon yellow and a mint green as 2 primary colors, and lights on a gray backgrounds to make it more subdued and the content make more clear to the user. And for my style tile, I choose to use more round corner icons and also the font to make it more to bring the user closer and give a feeling of familiarities and friendly. For my next mood board, I also starting with navy, mentioned by Antonio, but I choose to add a bold color orange into it and make it more contrasting and more interesting. For my style tile, I decided to make it simpler, so I limited the use of navy into only the outlines of the interface, and I used orange as a primary CDA color, and I decided to use more square-shaped buttons to fit with the line and the straightness of the mood board. Last one is targeting at a younger generation, and it is more modern feeling, and I choose to use black and white, and I add a little bit yellow into it to make it standing out. For my style tiles, I actually limited the navigation that used in this one. I only did 2 tabs instead of a whole navigation bar. And I also make it dark background for this one.
So for my first mood board, I was really inspired by the bold design of Mondrian's kind of structural architectural lines. So I kind of drew inspiration from that and thinking about the 2 windows kind of theme going on, so kind of blocky structural elements like the black bars, which led to this style tile. Again, kind of keeping everything a little bit like hard edge, a little bit architectural, black bars supporting everything. And then for my second mood board, this was more about energy. I wanted to bring more of a pop of color in there, and so elements that suggest movement and the color orange for the energy. And the style tile was really kind of focused on making the product stand out first and foremost, with the orange to give it kind of that burst of energy. And then the third mood board was more inspired by kind of organic shapes, more natural kind of green shades, and thinking about how that can translate into, you know, focusing on the product, making that kind of a centerpiece. And I played around with the colors, shades of green to highlight different elements.
All right, so moving on, we are going to be offering some logo sketch drafts. These are like very, like still in the ideation process. So, all right, so just thinking about different logo concepts that we could move forward with. I wanted to still focus on like the word twindo. I see like twindo in it, so twin windows, 2 windows, so like focusing on that duality with these type of square objects. And then I wanted to take that and kind of bring it down a bit and make it less structured, like less functional and more casual and like classic, so making it kind of cursive. And then since our main business model of Twindo involves using a barcode to like drive through the store with, I decided to focus lastly on a barcode logo. So just moving forward with those.
Okay, so these are my initial logo sketches. I too also focused on the 2 windows and played with a little bit of speed and convenience as well. So the ones I ended up were these ones. So my first one is playing with the 2 windows, just interlocked in an interesting shape. The second one is an abstraction of a drive-through window, and the arrow is indicating speed and moving through it. Third, I have this abstract T with 2 windows layered on top of one another. And then my third one is again with the 2 windows and a little bit of a different abstraction shape. Also, Karen loved my twins. Just wanted to point that out, though she's not here.
So for my logo design, I started with thinking about the values of Twindo. I was thinking convenient, fast, and the logo should be memorable, and it has to be clear to the user to pronounce it as Twindo. And also Antonio mentioned it should serve as a window to the user. Those are some of the sketches I made based on the value I created. And this is like the final 5 I really like. And you can see I incorporated like T and D, the capital letters T and D in one of the designs. And I also use like a symbol of the window throughout the design from all the 3, but it's giving a different style. And the last one is a more like abstract one with T to be more prominent.
So my logo sketches, I was focusing on kind of the window theme to start off with, sketching it out, you know, going as far as I can with that, and then thinking about how the windows kind of maybe intertwine or overlap. And then I thought about like what the actual store might look like. So I kind of drew that out, and then ended up with kind of playing around with word mark and just kind of letters. And so these are the 5 that I chose to move forward with. I think the first and the third one are more kind of like thinking about the actual appearance of the store. The second one's kind of an abstract, windows overlapping. Fourth one's like a very abstract T and D. And then the fifth one was trying to play around with how the actual word window kind of like wrap around itself.
Okay, so for our next steps, we will be doing desirability testing to see how our designs play out to the user, what they think about them. And then from there, we will move on to mocking up into high fidelity prototypes and mockups. Do you have any questions for us?
Yay! Thank you.